The lightweight division has long featured some of the UFC's most elite fighters, competing in the highest profile fights year after year. After Khabib Nurmagomedov released his vice-like grip on the division when he went into retirement, a mad dash to fill his throne ensued, and Brazilian submission ace Charles Oliveira took hold of the title. Now, a multitude of challengers await. Let's take a look at the state of the lightweight division.
Chandler retreats! Now Chandler is down!
It's out!
Charles Oliveira is the undisputed UFC lightweight champion!
Charles Oliveira completed a long, arduous journey when he knocked out Michael Chandler at UFC 262 and became the lightweight champion of the world. Now he faces the difficult task of defending his title, but he is perhaps in the prime of his fighting life. His 9-fight win streak includes 4 submissions and 3 knockouts, and he already holds the UFC record for submissions with 14. Altogether, Sao Paulo's do Bronx stands as one of the most dangerous and difficult puzzles to solve in mixed martial arts. A worthy champion awaiting his first challenger. Which brings us to the Diamond. Dustin Poirier very well could have already challenged for the belt in 2021, but he decided to complete his iconic trilogy with Conor McGregor and won the rubber match at UFC 264. No other lightweight can match Poirier's resume since he moved up to 155.
Gaethje nearly out on his feet. Poirier continues to land. Dustin Poirier by knockout.
He is 12-2-1 with wins over Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez, Max Holloway and Conor McGregor. Along the way, Poirier earned 9 performance bonuses and virtually universal respect for his attitude inside and outside of the octagon. His boxing is considered some of the best on the roster, and his durability and resilience makes him a tough out no matter the circumstance. Now that his saga with McGregor is put to bed for the time being, his focus shifts to the undisputed title. Another fighter who could have also fought for that vacant title is Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, Gaethje with some... Oh, got him with an overhand right. It's
Justin
over.
Gaethje!
That is it.
Long thought of as one of the most intriguing matchups for Khabib, Gaethje earned his shot at the Eagle after beating down Tony Ferguson at UFC 249. Sadly for Gaethje fans, he fell short in October 2020 at UFC 254 in what became Khabib's retirement fight, and we haven't seen the highlights since. Gaethje had as good of a case to compete for the vacant title earlier in the year, and whether he gets his second shot at the title after Poirier or needs to earn another victory first, he is certainly a mainstay among the lightweight elite. The newest face among that elite is Banil Darius, who recently submitted his name for consideration as one of the best 155ers after his dominant win over Tony Ferguson at UFC 262. The win capped a 7-fight win streak that came after a 2-year stretch without a victory, and the highlights have poured in as he rebuilt his case in the division. One of the most dangerous jiu-jitsu players at 155, Darius showed growing comfort on the feet, highlighted by a pair of stunning knockouts in 2020. Darius might have some work ahead to distinguish himself among the pack, but he has certainly shown the tools to threaten anyone in the top 5.
And look at the immediate... Oh! Big knockout from
Michael Chandler introduced himself to the division like a wrecking ball, knocking out Dan Hooker in the first round at UFC 257.
That's why you paid the big bucks for Michael Chandler.
The performance was good enough to score Chandler a title shot in his second UFC bout. And 1 round into his fight with Oliveira, it seemed like the 35-year-old was going to make good on every promise he made since signing to the MMA leader. Of course, Oliveira turned the tables, but Chandler showed he is more than capable of becoming a champion at the highest level. Iron has some work to do if he wants another shot at the belt, especially if Oliveira remains the champion. Luckily, any fight against the top lightweight is on the table for him, so whether his bounce-back fight comes against Gaethje, Darius or somebody else, we know enough about Chandler to know that he will bring fireworks. Perhaps nobody on this list has as many question marks swirling around him as Tony Ferguson. The man who put together a legendary 12-fight win streak in the division now finds himself on a 3-fight skid. And El Cucuy hasn't exactly looked like his best self in those 3 fights. However, fighters like Ferguson don't go away quietly. His endless cardio and pressure-forward style are all very much still there, and few are as unorthodox as Ferguson. What's next for the division's boogeyman is unknown, but if he is able to turn things around quickly, nobody should be surprised. You cannot talk about 155 without bringing up Conor McGregor. The sport's biggest star seems to have a long road back after breaking his leg at UFC 264, and predicting McGregor's next move is as difficult a venture as any.
This is not over!
He seemed adamant about a 4th fight with Poirier, but as always, McGregor has options after he recovers, such as a trilogy fight against Nate Diaz, or perhaps an overdue matchup against Rafael dos Anjos. Speaking of RDA, the former lightweight champion made a triumphant return to the division last November when he defeated Paul Felder. The 36-year-old has waited for his next chance to pick up a big win, and after weighing in as a backup at UFC 264, you know he is certainly chomping at the bit to return to action. Someone who could make sense for RDA is Islam Makhachev. Fresh off another dominant win in his first UFC main event, Makhachev finds himself on an 8-fight win streak. With Khabib in his corner, Makhachev is in a remarkably similar spot as his mentor. He seems like the fight nobody in the division wants because of his suffocating sambo wrestling and powerful striking. But if he keeps racking up wins, he cannot be denied for long. He and RDA were already booked once before, so it could make the most sense for both men. When a top matchup is booked in the lightweight division, it captures all eyes, and for good reason. Oliveira is the division's king, but the challengers are coming.